Welcome back, everybody. Trial Tuesday once again, and today we're talking about a controversial subject, legalizing marijuana. Attorney David Aylor, a man many liken to Harvey Specter himself, joins us this morning to discuss this pertinent issue. So, Counselor, I guess the number one starting point in this conversation is, why is it not legal here in South Carolina yet? A lot of other states have already legalized it, and it means some tax revenue for a badly needed economy.
Well, there's a lot of states that it's still not legal in, and this is definitely one of them. And we're not just talking about the medicinal marijuana. Obviously, we're now talking about the personal use marijuana. And we have two states that have now officially legalized it, and the reaction from the federal government is pretty interesting.
Well, tell me about that reaction a little bit and why you think it probably won't happen here for the foreseeable future.
Well, the reaction from the federal government is, even though marijuana under all circumstances is illegal in terms of the federal government and the laws that they have in place, they have recently come out through Eric Holder and stated that they would not be attempting to prosecute or move forward against anyone using small amounts of marijuana within these two states.
Basically, it's because the prisons can't hold anyone. There's no more room for people that are getting caught for marijuana charges, and they feel like they need to free up that space for somebody else with a more dangerous crime.
Yeah, that and among other things being that, you know, for instance, that was what the voters of those states wanted. They're the ones that wanted to have the marijuana in small amounts legal, and they feel like they just have, as President Obama once put, you know, bigger fish to fry.
Absolutely. Well, a lot of people liken to smoking marijuana to drinking alcohol, let's say. And some people say that it's even safer to do that than behind getting them on the wheel of a car after you've been drinking. So do you see any kind of similarities in those two charges and what people might kind of bring to an argument that way and saying that it's actually safer to smoke marijuana rather than drink alcohol?
Well, obviously, a lot of times folks use both alcohol and or marijuana as a recreational activity, and that's where you really see a lot of the comparisons. But to say one is better than the other, per se, when talking about driving a vehicle or anything else like that, I don't think that's really so much true. Anything you use in excess can be dangerous, no matter if it's a drug or not, and obviously that's the biggest concern. But beyond that, you also have a lot of tax issues that, you know, they have yet to really encounter in both the two states that have marijuana and if other states start to go in that direction. I don't think it'll be something we see down in the Bible Belt anytime soon.
Yeah, absolutely not. South Carolina lawmakers have been pretty staunch on this one. A lot of people say that I've heard talk about this issue say it'll be 150 years, 200 years before South Carolina legalizes marijuana. Do you see even a bill being sponsored in this session or in a coming session?
I wouldn't see any reason for it because I don't think it would go anywhere.
Absolutely. Well, of course, there are many more legal implications that those states that have legalized it already have. Do you think that that's kind of part of the argument here, that you know, we want these people locked up because this is still such a controversial thing?
Well, I think that is part of it, because one thing you're going to see in these states that legalize it, you're going to then see people there that are going to be growing marijuana, and then they're going to start to commit other illegal acts, such as actually taking the marijuana and sending it out of the state into other states where it is illegal. That's an issue that we face here in South Carolina, places like California, other bigger states that have the medicinal marijuana that's legal. People then go take the illegal act of taking that together and package it and send it here, which is going to obviously cross state lines, which makes it a federal crime.
Yeah, that just happened a couple of weeks ago. Is that correct?
It happens all the time.
It does, and these people, obviously, they shouldn't be doing that. But I never knew that they were kind of inspectors that are out there looking through mail, and they can find this stuff before it's even unpackaged.
Absolutely. Now, obviously, a lot of packages do actually make it through undetected, hence why people still do it. However, there are a lot of people that are actually caught either delivering it out or people that are actually on the receiving here in South Carolina.
How about law enforcement and your profession, of course, as an attorney at law? Are you seeing that law enforcement agents and prosecutors right now are kind of letting those smaller marijuana charges kind of slip through the cracks to a plea deal or a fine kind of thing here in South Carolina? Or is it still as hard as it was?
Well, we actually have a courtesy summons for a simple marijuana, basically meaning if someone gets stopped and is found to have just a small possession of marijuana on, they can just receive a ticket as opposed to actually going to jail. That's something that's really been a change over the recent years. But beyond that, no, I would have to say they're still looking at it just as strongly, and they're definitely looking at it strongly in large quantities.
All right, there you have it. Attorney David Aylor, thanks so much for your time, sir. Do appreciate it as always.
Thanks for having me.
Great to see you. Stay with us. More Low Country Live after this.